Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be continuing our Advanced Wars 2 Random CO War Room Challenge, continuing with Seoul Harbor. Alright, so, last time we played Dual Falls, we got Sonya. I'm actually happy that how that mission went. Apparently Sonya was actually a decent choice, but of course she didn't really get any benefits from, being chosen on this map. She was a very neutral CO. So, it actually turned out being very good, so we'll see who we get today. I'm really hoping I get Andy to counter Drake's CO power, but like I said, any CO can be really good on any map. So let's see who we get. Oh my god, we're getting Andy. I did say we can play Andy or Eagle, regardless if I played them before. Wow. You couldn't you couldn't ask for a better turn of events. And it's random. It's a wheel. It's a random wheel. So you guys saw it. I'm not cheating. So I'm using Andy. Oops. Alright, so we get to use my favorite CO on a map that I don't really like playing, and against the CO that my powers work great. So of course, Andy, no day-to-day abilities. His CO power is Hyper Repair, repairs 2 HP to all my units. His Hyper Upgrade, his Super CO power repairs 5 HP to all my units. And I get extra 20% firepower and +1 movement. Very strong Super CO power. It's the reason why I love him so much. And then, of course, our enemy is Drake. He has good, or better naval units. They have 1 more movement range and extra defense. Bad air units, but usually he's not going to be on a map with air units. His small chance to make random weather become rain doesn't matter, because none of these war rooms will have random weather. Squall used to be called Tsunami, is a 1 HP dealing global damage CO power, and reduces my fuel by half for my entire army. So that's where it does hurt compared to Advanced Wars 1. It's the same power, but they added a fuel reduction aspect to it, and it really does take effect. You'll notice it a lot if you're not careful. So you definitely want to have like at least 1 or 2 APCs around. Then his Super CO power, minus 2 HP, reduces fuel, and it also makes it rain, which doesn't affect him. He's unaffected by rain, but it does affect us, increasing movement by 1. So that will really hurt. But yeah, Andy perfectly counters Drake, because if you guys notice, it takes 4 stars for him to get his regular co-power and 3 more to get his Typhoon. His Typhoon only deals 2 HP of damage. That's the same as my Hyper Repair. And I will get my powers a little bit faster than he will, because it's a little bit smaller. But even if I don't get my Hyper Upgrade, even just popping my Hyper Repair will counteract his Super CO power. Not entirely, because I still lose fuel and it will rain, but it is something, to take note of. So we're going to just go ahead and start building some infantry here. We're going to build infantry in the top base and an APC here. These 2 infantry can capture on the first turn. The top bases cannot, so I'm just going to build the APC out of that top base, and we'll move out that back infantry as quickly as possible. Another thing you could do is, if you want to not build the APC, you could build a couple infantry, and then build a lander here, and transport him to the shoreline, but I think he's usually going to build like a recon or a tank out of one of these side bases, so it might not work if you do that. But it can, especially if you're like a defensive CO like Kanbei or Sturm. It might be worth a try, but yeah, in most cases, for me, it doesn't work out that way. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and build more infantry to capture stuff, and then we're going to build a tank right off the bat. He's going to probably build a tank this turn, and he's going to start sending it towards us, so we want to be ready with direct combat units. Oh yeah, 2 tanks, Entire, and a recon. So yeah, the recon, the very right, this one right here, would counteract your lander, bringing infantry over, so sometimes not a good idea to do that. Anyways, we're going to move our infantry forward here. So what's going to happen is, this infantry will capture here, this infantry will capture those cities. He'll probably build a lander eventually out of this port and start sending C units to my side, but I'm not too worried about those right now. Let's see, I think we're going to actually try and take one of these cities here. I just want to see where his units move first before I decide which city I'm taking. As for everything else, I think another tank and infantry will be good for this turn. You definitely want to get artillery and rockets out as quickly as possible too. The closest path to his HQ is through a path of forest, which is hard to move through, especially since he'll be bringing tanks of his own. So you want to try and bring indirect units as quickly as possible to that front. You can bring tanks onto the far side, but then they have to go along this long road and uses much. It takes a lot longer to do so. So I take it back. I'm actually going to move you over here. I want to take this city first, because my infantry are in position to take this city next turn, so that should be good. We're actually going to take this city, because he does have that recon coming this way. And we are going to block it off. Let's see, let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so he cannot reach my infantry if I move my vehicles like this. I'm kind of hoping he does not move out the tank first, because the ARC might kill my APC, but that's a risk I'm going to have to take. I'm going to build a tank and artillery this turn, so we can get that artillery onto the front line as quickly as possible. So he does use the recon first and an infantry. That's exactly what I wanted him to do, so very good. Now the APC has served a nice defensive purpose, we can actually move it back to go pick up more infantry. So we can capture that city, finish capturing this one, start capturing this guy over here. He does have this lander now, and because of his extra movement, he can land at this shore in one turn. He probably will bring, if not one, but two of these troops, so we're definitely going to need another tank down there. So I'm actually tempted to leave my artillery right here this next turn, so whatever he drops off I can strike. Yeah, so we can strike anything here. I want it on the front line, but not if it's going to just be useless, so definitely want to strike this tank first if we can. We'll also attack this recon. We actually could kill the recon this turn. There we go. Let me see. Maybe... Well, I definitely want the APC alive, so we're just going to move it back. Because we need it alive for when he uses his powers, we're going to need to refuel our units eventually, so... We'll just build more infantry. It's always nice to have infantry as walls to block off his tanks. So as long as my units don't die, I can move them back, repair them up with my steel powers, and they can get back into the action eventually. So he builds one, or brings one anti-air over, which is still fine. I can actually use this infantry to help kill it, so my tanks can keep moving forward. We're going to move the APC right here, and APCs can't resupply themselves, so I'm actually just going to leave it here on the city for now. Refuel its, regain its fuel, and then the rest of the HP we can repair with our CO powers. Now we have this artillery, so we definitely want to strike that while we can, because I don't want to get hit by a full-blown artillery shot. Move you back. Let's see if we can kill this here. We can, and then we're going to ignore that full tank on the city. We're going to kill this artillery first, because this tank can only kill this infantry, and if he wants to kill it, that's actually fine by me. It's just an infantry for his tank, so really good trade for me. I want to build a medium tank, but we do want to get a rocket if we can, so we're going to build that now. And we want to get that rocket into position to help lock down his bases. There we go, so now we can use our tanks on his. He might get his co-power from this next turn, which is actually perfect timing, because I'll also have my steel power soon as well. So again, he has these landers here that might bring troops over, so I'm actually tempted to leave this artillery here at once more, just because it doesn't look like he can do anything else with those landers. So yeah, we're going to kill this tank for sure. Nothing can attack me over here other than infantry, so we're just going to go ahead and start killing some. That infantry will probably start capturing this neutral city, so we're just going to strike these APCs for now. move our troops up. We're going to stay off of properties this turn. He does have his... Where is it? He does have his co-power. I'm not sure if he'll use it though, because I did go past the base of his CO power. But he might. And this time we will build a medium tank. Even if he uses his CO power, it's not like 1 HP is going to kill my funds. He does not use his CO power, so we're going to wait for his Typhoon instead. There's the first vehicle. It's an artillery. But again, not really worried because one, I get to strike it first. I can even use infantry to help out. So this is practically useless. He has an anti-air as well, but we can just build a tank to counter that for next turn. My rocket can actually strike the... well, that was a bug. It's actually a tank, but we can strike the lander if we wanted to, giving him his co-power sooner, but that would be a bad idea. So yeah, we're going to move this rocket over here. Get it in position to attack any units that come through the forest. Let's see, we want to get our tanks to the far right side as quickly as possible so we can start chipping away at his units. Yes, we killed that. Nice. So we can start capturing this city and this city as well. Ooh, we killed 2 of his troops. Nice. We can drop off more infantry here. So everything's going pretty good so far. So I have my co-power now, so if he uses his co-power at all, I can easily counter it. Yeah, we're going to build 2 tanks this turn. Strength in numbers for me. So his anti-air is just going to kind of run, because it can't do anything. His artillery is also running as well. But yeah, we needed those 2 tanks because there they are. There are some extra troops that my 1 artillery cannot take on by itself. So let's see, let's go ahead and have the tank get attacked by my artillery and we can kill it here. Then we can use my other tank on the recon. I'm not scared of this recon attacking my artillery because it's only going to do like 1 damage at most, so nothing to be worried about. He builds his own rocket, which is actually pretty smart. However, I should be able to get my rocket into a good position before he can. So it's not exactly the best build for him. Oops, don't put it there, that's for sure. Yeah, so he can't really move it much closer. Maybe up to this plain tile. But otherwise, I'm going to strike it first, so he has to be careful with that. Keep moving our infantry forward, slowly capturing his cities here. He's building a whole bunch of mechs, which is really annoying because mechs are very good against vehicles. But as long as he doesn't have a crazy army of tanks, that's okay with me. Alright, so we're going to leave the tank here. So just making sure I'm not immune to that rocket. Alright, and again, we're just going to go ahead and build another medium tank, I think, for this turn. And we'll keep up the infantry presence because it's good to have numbers. Especially when he's building so many mechs. Infantry versus mechs are very good engagements, so it's nice to have the infantry numbers as well. So he slightly moves his rocket up. If I'm lucky, he'll move that rocket into his lander and then take it away, but I don't think I'll be that lucky. So this artillery's done its job. I'm actually going to move it forward now. Well, let's see. If he keeps sending landers, it might be a good idea to keep it here. Maybe we'll keep this one here. We'll keep the artillery here and the infantry. My controls is not working properly. There we go. And whatever he brings, we can keep shelling it off. We'll keep building tanks every turn anyways, so we can just send them down if we need help. Alright, so we'll keep sending infantry this way. Through the mountains. So, we're going to capture that one, maybe even this city this next turn, which is good. But we're going to drop off this infantry. Maybe right here. If his tank attacks my infantry, that's actually okay with me. Better to hit my infantry than my tanks. But I will leave my tank in range because if he attacks me, it'll get me closer to my hyper upgrade. And again, he doesn't have any units that can attack my infantry other than this mech and this rocket. So my rocket is still currently safe. However, I will attack this mech because it is closer in range. Actually start moving this guy over here too. There we go. And then we are going to build another rocket to help out. Okay. Let's see what he does for his turn. This is one of the struggles for this map, is it's just so narrow trying to get through those the small gaps. This is where getting maybe at least one battleship could come in handy. Yeah, so now my rocket's, you know, being threatened, but it's not too scary. Alright, so we do have more troops coming over across the water here. We're just gonna block it off with a single tank and infantry like this. Even if he uses seal power, my tank will still be a 6, which is still stronger than his 2 tanks. And we'll be able to repair it up anyways on the next turn following. That's in range of this rocket. Don't want to do that. It's another part that makes it hard to go against Drake is he can pop his power at any time, and I have no idea when that might be, so I have to be careful. Alright, so he has these vehicles here. I'm tempted to actually do this, capture with this infantry here, because this mech should want to interrupt this capture and not attack anything that's going to, like my rocket. He shouldn't attack my rocket area. But I never know, so I'm definitely going to be a little cautious. So I'm still going to put this guy right here. But I definitely want to weaken these infantry down because these guys are threatening my rocket for sure. Okay, so what we're going to do is actually I'm going to put my medium tank. I'm just going to charge my medium tank forward to threaten his rocket. Even if his rocket attacks my medium tank, it won't die, and then I can actually repair it up next turn with my hyper upgrade, and yeah, and then we can start striking him. Alright, we can finally build a Neo tank. This is going to be really useful. So he should use his co-power this turn. Alright, here comes the Typhoon. This is going to hurt a little bit, but luckily he doesn't have any, you know, a big army of tanks, so this should not hurt as far as losing units. Ouch. 2 HP on all my units, that hurts a lot. Oh, he targets my far tank. Okay, well, there's that. So he does not interrupt my cap because he actually interrupted with his co-power, so he's very smart. But that's okay, because now we're going to get 3 properties from him. And we have our superpower now, and as you guys can see, almost all my units are damaged. Some of them are even 4s, 3s, 6. But with my superpower, we are really going to recover, and we're going to deal a big blow to him this turn.
Hyper upgrade!
There we go. But yeah, so rain, it just kind of increases movement across all, you know, the vehicles by 1. It's not that detrimental. Especially with this long road here, just so you guys know how it works. So yeah. So now, we can use, let's see, always move your furthest units first when you get movement boost, because you want them to move as far forward as possible. I'm going to send this tank to the right, since the left side has my medium tank. So, with that fuel drain, my medium tank, my newest one, is already down to 14 HP. It hasn't even seen combat yet. It's already down to 14 fuel. I said HP earlier. So you definitely want to bring those APCs forward. So like I have this one over here to resupply these tanks. I'm actually thinking I'm going to bring it back over here and resupply that medium tank on the next turn. This one, even though it's, you know, low on fuel, I still have 8 shots and it's in the front lines already. I'm going to one-shot this rocket, and even if I can't move, it can still hurt a lot of his units. So I don't have to worry about that one having no fuel. I'm going to move these units in the back first. So again, this artillery, having lots of fun shooting these units. We actually didn't get enough luck damage to kill that tank with my infantry, so we did use our tank to kill it. My artillery is running out of fuel, ammo, we've shot 6 times, so this artillery has been very useful. We do need to hit this mech for sure before it attacks my rocket. Unfortunately, I cannot stop it. It was in the minimum range of my rocket, so what we are going to do is attack it with my infantry from the mountain, at least, to damage it a little bit. And we're actually going to go target this artillery for sure. And so his anti-air should want to attack this infantry. Well, actually, I damaged it enough, he might want to just retreat it. So we minimize damage this turn for sure, which is good. Let's build another medium tank and infantry. Good to have numbers. Medium tanks are like my favorite ground troop. I love air units, but the medium tank is very balanced in my opinion. So it's always good for, especially when you're using Andy, to have medium tanks. Alright, so build a couple tanks, which is a bit scary because tanks on properties hurt a lot. Makes it harder for me to kill him. But over here, again, we're gonna just have lots of fun with our units. I don't even have to worry about this APC because it's just carrying infantry, so I'm just going to ignore it this turn. Let's see, this Neo tank can go onto this city here. Oh, and still, instead of attacking my rocket, he decided to capture. So this is really good, and this rocket's also locking down this base, so I can't really build anything out of it without getting stripped by my rocket. So yeah, we can actually go and... Can we clear a way to that tank? Maybe. Let's see. Attack here. Move our infantry up. We'll go ahead and attack this guy. So this infantry's going to kill this mech. You can kill this infantry. We'll use the 3 here. Let's see. Attack the tank with our medium tank. I'm going to ignore this artillery because it's not going to be able to recover. We're just going to attack this one here. There we go. Just nullifying another unit. So this tank can only attack one of these 2, unless this artillery acts first. So this should be okay. We should have secured our units nicely with that move. Keep the infantry out for now. Alright, and then I think we're just going to go ahead and spam Neo tanks the rest of the map, pretty much. Either a Neo tank or a medium tank. Abandon ship? Abandon ship? He doesn't kill it, so that was very good. So now he's covering one of his bases. And again, that his most leftward base is in range of my rocket. So my rocket can go ahead and have fun shooting whatever comes out of that base. This rocket can help me take care of the mech, maybe? Oh, not enough luck damage, but it wasn't that bad. And so again, my medium tanks running out of fuel. They're really low, like 10 fuel each. But they have so many shots that they don't even have to move, really. They just need to shoot stuff. Let's bring this tank down, attack this here. Not quite killing these tanks, which is unfortunate, but we're dealing damage to him, so that's good enough. Keep attacking his APC, because it just takes away some money from him. Drop off the infantry closer. He might have his co-power. He went past it, so he might not use it. And if he does, I am actually really close to my hyper repair. So I won't have to worry about the damage. Alright, so this mission is almost over. We do want to get the infantry down there to capture the HQ, because it's going to be very difficult to kill those landers. So it's always good to have a healthy infantry coming along. Whether you keep it protected in APC, or for example like Andy, I can just repair them up. So definitely keep an infantry close by. So again, we're just going to hit that mech that came out of that base. Alright, we can finally clear that HQ, which is good. Kill this artillery. My infantry can take care of his infantry, no problem. Just surround this APC and keep striking it. Alright, we can actually start capturing on this base too, which is good. Let's clear out these units here. We'll actually cover this... We'll cover the right base, because I don't have any units that can really effectively Oh, we can actually cover 2 of his bases. Look at that. That's actually very good. So now we can only build the base that the rocket has covered. And yeah, so we're pretty much done with this mission. He doesn't even have his Typhoon yet, which is really good. But again, it's going to be really difficult to hit those landers because they'll just keep moving around. And he didn't even build a unit that can really do anything this turn. So we can just capture this HQ and we'll just end our turn. Yeah, because there's no point in doing anything else. And if you give him his co-power, he's going to use it, and then you're going to have to use your co-power if you're Andy. So yeah, this works out. There we go. So I only had to use my co-power once on this map. Very easy if you're Andy. But it doesn't mean anybody can't do this. I'm sure any CO will win this map easily. It's just that Andy hard counters Drake, like really easily.
I win!
I win. 100 speed, power, technique. So another 300S. I think the only one we haven't gotten 300 was the Moji Island. That's only to me because Lash doesn't have anything that really benefits her on the map. But it doesn't mean I couldn't get it. I definitely could have played it a little bit better. But I don't play Moji Island all too much, so. Yeah, and we even did it 1 day faster too. That's really good. So new record for me. So now we have 4 missions in our pocket, all done and with an S. 2 points off from Lashes, but that's okay. So our next mission will be Pivot Isle. This one's not too hard. Eagle's Super CO power, the Lightning Strike, it takes a long time to charge up. So he's not as scary in this one as in Advance Wars 1 in my opinion. I think he also starts with... No, he starts with the same properties. But yeah, so pretty much we just need to control the skies when we can. There's an airport on the island as well as in the very bottom. Once you get those, you can start building battlecopters, bombers, fighters, and you'll probably win this very quickly. Not since that's going to happen because you never know. I mean, I used, again, Eagle is one of my favorite characters. I only got 292, so we'll see who we get, and hopefully I'll get a new record, hopefully a 300S. Alright, but until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.